So first off, guys, welcome back to the Ian West Network, and to the people that are new to the channel, welcome. Today we're going to actually do a review on the Pixel wall speaker. This is something that's actually purchased at Five Below, and believe it or not, it is a little expensive for the person that walks into Five Below. If you're expecting to drop like $5 or $10 for a speaker, this guy was about $25. I believe 20 to 25, but I'm going to go ahead and say 25 just to be safe. Anyway, it does have changing RGB colors for lighting modes. It's sound reactive, so if you play music and things like that, I'm assuming it reacts that way and not so much to your voice, but whatever's going on your Bluetooth. But we're going to test both anyway. Let's flip this guy over right here, and as you can see, 5 volt, 1 amp, the RGB lighting right here, the 4 light modes, USB-C charging, so that's a good thing. Hopefully the cord is long. If it isn't, I'll use one of my own, so no big deal. 3 to 4 hours of playtime, and 3 to 4 hours roughly for charge time. So what that means is if you play this, and it's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll just say it anyway for anyone that's unfamiliar with this. If you play Bluetooth headphones or even speakers at a higher octave, like 100% or like above 70%, your headset it will die faster than the recommended amount of time. But if you play it in the 50 to 70% or roughly around that time, then you'll get the full battery life. In this case, it's 3 to 4 hours. With other products, it does differ based on the manufacturer. Now, outside of that, it doesn't say anything about Bluetooth 5.3 or anything like that. I mean, pretty simple. It looks pretty cool, at least in the box so far, but let's unbox it together. So I'm not gonna waste your time anymore. Let's get right into this review. So what you see right here is what it comes with. You have the instructions to the side. You have this cord right here, which to be honest with you, it's a pretty long cord. Now I'm going to go ahead and guess, but it's probably roughly, I'm not going to go by inches, I'm going to go by feet, close to like 4 feet tall. So it's a pretty long cord. Though what I will say is if you have your own USB-C, something that feels a little bit more sturdier than this one or longer, that might be more ideal to use, especially since this is supposed to hang on a wall. So it's probably going to be plugged up all the time for the most part. No, not all the time. I forgot. It does have a 3 to 4 hour battery life, so just keep that in mind. Totally forgot about that part. Anyway, let me show you the speaker itself. This is the top right here. If you flip it over on the back, as you can see, this is the hook where the nail would go to actually hang this, and to kind of just bring that point home. Let me just see that right there. That's the hook right here. Anyhow, as a matter of fact, let me make it a little bit closer and easier for the eyes. So I'm not sure what kind of nail would go into this. I didn't see one inside the box. So you're probably going to have your own apparatus to hang this on a wall. I didn't see anything that gave me a support that came with it. So just kind of keep that in mind. Anyhow, if you look at the sides, you have these speakers right here. Actually, this side right here is one set of speakers, as you can see. And then the second side over here is the second set of speakers. And these are also the physical buttons. So let me just flip that the correct way. If you look right here, you have the USB-C cable. You have looks like the minus and go backwards power on button, pause and play. I'm assuming that's the power button. We're going to try that in a second. You have the fast forward and volume, and then this is the changing color mode, in which you probably tap it 4 times, but we'll go over the instructions also. So for the person wondering how it looks, let me just lift that up so you can see it clearly into the video. Now I'm going to do a theory. Remember I told you this is probably the power button right here? I'm going to try it. Let's see. I am curious about how this is on. Where is it? I pressed the wrong one. Yep.
Bluetooth mode.
Yep. So it's on. This is pretty cool. So because it's not connected to anything right now, it's probably not going to pick up any of the sound. Now, remember I told you that it was like a sound speaker. I want to go ahead and click on the color changing. Okay, so this is one. This is one of the color changing schemes. I like this. This is cool. Now, what I will say is, because I'm looking at this right here, I'm not sure if there's a film on top of this. I was hoping that it was, but every time I tried to peel back at it, it didn't come off. And I'm thinking there's a film on this. Let me try to get that off. Yeah, it is. Yep, there we go. There we go. I'm so glad I did that on video. There we go. There's the film. Now it looks better. But to be honest with you, the lights do look a little washed out. Like for a person seeing this, it's not bad looking, but they don't look very pronounced. Like even if I angle it and stuff, it just looks kind of cheap. Like this should have been a clear background and the colors would have popped a whole lot better. Anyway, there are two more color changing modes. There's this one right here for the people to see it. And then we have this one. I guess this, okay. And I want to tap it again, and I'm assuming that allows you to turn it off. Now, instruction wise, it's not much to it right here. I'm just gonna put this so you guys can see it. You have the hanging on a wall. Art speaker tells you how to actually do that. And it lets you know that, okay, 6.7 pounds. So this thing is super heavy. If you don't have a nail or not a nail, obviously, but a form of support to actually attach to this that can support, like if your wall can't support 6 pounds, do not hang the speaker up. My suggestion to you would then be put it on a desk or have it in a backdrop or something else, because it doesn't have to be on a wall. It does sit just fine up and down, solid, on a solid ground. So keep that in mind. Anywho, let's go over this side. Yep, so it just gives you the basic instructions right here, and it tells you how to use it. So for the person out there that needs to know about this, oh, I have the FM mode. Interesting. So if you long press the LED button, it'll switch over to FM mode. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that in another section. I'm glad I did read this, but this is the basic instructions right here. Go ahead and pause the video or screenshot it or do whatever you got to do so you have the instructions moving forward. So anyway, this seems pretty cool so far. I like it. Not a bad looking speaker, but more importantly, how does it sound? That's what I'm more interested in. So let's go over that section right now. So I'm going to show you guys how to sync this. Very simple, because it's already on. And for the people that skip that section, all you do is there's this button right here in the middle. This is the play pause button. You hold that to turn it on. You hold it to turn it off. Actually, I'll just show you as a matter of fact. It's turned off now when you hear that prompt. And the prompt for turning it on is entirely different. Here we go. Oh, Bluetooth mode. There we go. So now it's Bluetooth mode, right? Which let me kind of put it like this because it seemed like that's the top one. There we go. All right. Put you in the picture. There we go. So anyway, now it's in Bluetooth mode. We're going to go over here to the settings and tap Bluetooth. And it's going to pop up. So it says LED Art Bluetooth speaker. For the people that can't see that, let me kind of put it a little bit closer. See that LED Art Bluetooth speaker? I'm going to go ahead and tap that. It says pairing, and I'm going to press pair, and I'm good to go. So it's actually paired that way. Now, unfortunately, for anyone wondering about multi-point, it doesn't have that. So keep that in mind, and make sure you remember the device that you pair it to, because if it stays paired to that device and you keep it in the house, you may forget which device it's connected to, and then you got to go through each individual one and start deleting Bluetooth to use it for someone else that may want to connect to it. So just kind of keep that in mind. But, you know, if anyone needs a tutorial on that, I'll help you resync it or anything like that. Anyway, let's go into the next section, which is going to be quality of music. Now remember, guys, the speaker has 4 different Bluetooth modes. Keep that in mind, and we're going to go over all 4 of them right now. So we're in mode 1 right now. And for the person wondering how you switch the modes, it's very simple. When the speaker comes on, let me show you the controls right here in case someone skipped another part. This little button right here, this circle, is the light button, but it also doubles down as the mode button to switch it into FM mode. But we'll do that in another section. But yes, you tap this and it changes the modules of what's happening right here. Now, some is reactive to the sound of whatever you're playing. We're going to try each one. In addition to that, this is going to work great for us because we're also going to test the quality of the speaker itself too. So a double whammy if you know what I mean. Anyway, let's, which one? We'll do Warzone first. Voice recorder? I didn't even know you can do that with voice recorder. Sure, why not? Allow. Sounds pretty good so far. Turn it up maximum. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, the first option is reactive. And I think the song actually sounds pretty good, though the bass popping noise, even if you stand it up, it doesn't, you could definitely tell that the speaker is struggling with the bass, so just kind of keep that in mind. But it plays the other instruments pretty well. It's a pretty smooth melody. I didn't really hear any breakage or anything, so it's not a bad speaker, but don't expect obviously JBL or JLab or quality of Skull Candy or anything like that. It's not quite up there, but I do think it's a pretty cool aesthetic to hang on the wall and whatnot, which I'm definitely going to do that. I think this looks really cool. Anyway, I'm going to hit the second option right now. Here we go. Okay, so the second one is just like this. It just moves on its own. So let me see if I pause it. Does anything happen if I pause it? No, it keeps changing. Okay, let's go to the next mode. How about I pause it? Nothing. Okay, so one more mode. Is that based on reactionary sound? It is. Okay, so one mode is based on sound, this one. The first mode and the fourth mode are based on the sound of whatever it is you're playing. So if I press play, it's going to do that, right? Cool. And then if I tap it again, I'm going to turn it off. And tap it one more time, this is the first mode. When I pause it, it goes back to the 1 bar. So yeah, mode 1, when you first turned on. Mode 4 are the ones that are motion modes. You think they would keep that together, but you know, it is what it is. I don't think this is bad for what it does, to be honest with you. It sounds pretty good for the most part. And I can honestly say that, you know, again, for other speakers that I had at Five Below that may be $15 or something, I do want to say that those are better. As a matter of fact, I think that this speaker right here, not to compare the two, but the two boom speaker is pretty good too, with louder sound than this one. This isn't bad at all. But you could definitely tell that it's more of a wall aesthetic than it is anything else. And I think that's what most people are probably going to use it for. At least that's what I'm going to use it for, definitely. And I'm not really going to play anything from this ever, but it will be nice to just have it in addition, hanging on my wall while I do videos in the background and it's blinking, you know what I mean? Anyway, that's the quality. It's okay. It's not bad. There's nothing to write home about when it comes to the music. The bass isn't quite there. I think if it would have had a better sub, it was no subwoofer at all, I'll be honest with you. But if it had better drivers in it, I do think that the bass would have really drove it home and made it worth the asking price of $25. But there's another mode, FM radio. I'm going to show you how to use that now. So let's talk about Bluetooth mode. So as you can see, there's a mode right here where it says Bluetooth-FM mode. All you have to do is hold the light switch and it'll switch over to FM mode. It'll actually let you know. And then what happens right here, if you press the play button, pause play, just tap it, it'll start searching radio stations. Now there is another thing to keep in mind when using it, because remember, the volume itself is from the speaker box. If you hold the volume up right here, hold that button, that plus button, it'll increase the volume. If you hold it down, it will lower the volume. So keep that in mind. Now, for the people out there, what I'm going to need you guys to do is to lower your headset volume or the volume of whatever device you're using. When I switch this over to FM radio mode, because of the static, I'm not sure how loud it's going to be initially, and I don't want to hurt your eardrum. So give you a couple seconds. All right, here we go. So first things first, like we talked about, hold that little circular button right here for a couple seconds.
FM mode.
FM mode. Okay, let me turn it down a little bit. There we go. So remember, when you hit I already actually did the search to make sure that it worked pretty well, and it's pretty good. Anyway, you hit this button right here to pause and play. It changes the station. Actually, it searches the station. It's searching all the stations right now.
Drop zone over there. Well, take me up on my offer.
Okay, now I'm going to power this off. Okay, so very simple and easy to use. What I will say is that because I'm using this sitting in the living room where I'm at right now, and this thing is face down, it's a little staticky, the radio. But normally when I actually first activate it in the bedroom, it was pretty simple. Activated in the bedroom, my lord. Anyway, when I first unboxed this and tried to use it near a window where I feel like it would got a better reception, it was actually pretty clear for the most part. Now, I do want you guys to keep in mind that when you use the plus and minus button, to fast forward the song or go backwards, you change the station that way. But whenever you hit the pause and play in radio mode, it's going to search all the stations to try to find more or whatever it didn't get and then add it to the fold. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, it's not bad. For the people that like the FM radio, it is pretty clear for the most part. You may have a little icks and, you know, it is what it is, but that's radio. Radio isn't really that clear unless it's like satellite or something like that. And that's old fashioned. Nobody does it anymore. Anyway, let's go on to the last section, which is talk about whether this is actually worth the asking price. So the question is this guy actually worth the asking price? To be honest with you, I'm going to go ahead and say yes, and I'm going to go ahead and say no, but I'm going to give you multiple reasons because that's what I do, right? Here it is. This is the guy right here. If you hold the power button, it turns on.
Bluetooth mode.
It's a pretty nice speaker in my opinion. You can change the light modes like I already talked about, but I'm going to leave it like this because I don't want someone that might go into, some type of shock seeing all the colors and stuff. I'm not trying to cause seizures right now. Anyway, or ever for that matter. Anyway, you get a 3 to 4 hour battery life if it's at about 70%. Anything higher than that, I didn't notice. It was like maybe 2.5 hours or so. It really differed depending on what it was I was watching. So kind of keep that in mind. I did use this hooked up to multiple devices, my Steam Deck and things like that. And it worked pretty well. But obviously with high intensive games and whatnot, the sounds may not pop or sound the way they normally would if you had a decent monitor or high-end TV or a subwoofer or something like that. So, just temper your expectations. It's not bad for the asking price. It'll get you to where you need to be. I think it's a really cool aesthetic. I do feel like this is a little washed out, and I actually peeled off the plastic when I first unboxed this, and I thought it would be a lot, sharper, and the colors would be a lot deeper and brighter, but it's not. It looks kind of faded out, and I don't know why they used this white tabletop to do that. It would have made more sense if this was clear, and that would have made a lot more sense and looked a lot better too. But instead they went with this white filmish type stained glass thing, which kind of takes away from the colors. I'm not even gonna say it looks better in person. This is just, and I just did the beatbox. Anyway, it's not bad. $25, I don't think it's too bad, to be honest with you. For a holiday gift, what I would normally do is like package this with something else. Like, someone might want a PlayStation 5 or controller or something, or a Nintendo Switch and you can afford it, or $100 you got it from a pawn shop. Don't matter where you got it. The point is that the person got the gift. I normally bundle stuff together, so I show them a bunch of other stuff and then give them the last thing that they truly wanted. And it's like, oh, I got a whole bunch of gifts and what I wanted. And I think that's really cool for holiday time if that's the aesthetic that you're looking for. I think Five Below has a lot of nice little knickknacks and electronics and here and there's that you can put together so that when you do present it as a gift, depending on whatever your budget is, it looks like they got a lot more. And I think the person would be appreciative. But if you're into like real heavy bass music and you've used better speakers, this isn't really going to do anything for you. If anything, it's just going to make you angry because you're not going to really be able to vibe with whatever song it is that you're playing because you're used to higher end stuff. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's why I say it's good for the person out there that just wants something that looks nice and cool and it's affordable, but it might be bad for the person that is a music lover and really wants a certain quality of sound. They're willing to sacrifice sound, but I don't think that this is quite there from someone that might use, a JBL speaker or a Soundcore speaker or something like that. Anyway, I'll leave it to you to decide. Anyway, like and subscribe. See you in the next video. I am super tired, guys. I actually woke up from a nap and I realized I wanted to get this review out of the way because I've been, just really tired lately. And here we are. So, it's not my best work, but hopefully this will be inform you enough to, get the right purchase. See you in the next one. Peace.